You might be thinking, did she rob a bank, or was she guilty of some unspeakably twisted crimes long ago that had finally been found out? The answer, well, was still surprising, was definitely not worth the deployment of multiple officers. Ruth, much to everyone's astonishment, was being arrested for indecent exposure. And she didn't even try to deny it. She did, however, cause a big hubbub when the deputies cuffed her to her walker, even telling one of them that he was getting on her nerves. But that's not all. As they loaded Ruth into the police cruiser, she fought back by kicking one of the officers in the knee. Quite the feisty woman, isn't she? Well, Ruth's tough temperament didn't leave her daughter any less horrified as she watched her mother being driven to the station. At this point, the officers were probably equally horrified, seeing as Ruth wouldn't shut up. She continuously complained about the uncomfortable seats and even suggested that whoever designed them should be arrested. You might be able to see now why they sent 2 officers instead of 1. At least if she drove one of them crazy, the other could stay sane just long enough to make it to the station. When they finally did, the deputies wasted no time in sitting Ruth down for a mugshot. One phone call and an orange jumpsuit later, Ruth's daughter arrived at the station, expecting to find her frail old mother wallowing in a cell. Instead, the scene was even more shocking than she imagined. Not only was Ruth not in distress, she wasn't even locked up. Instead, the entire station buzzed with laughter, the officers lining up to take selfies with a very happy Ruth. If you're seriously confused, you'd better join the queue, because Ruth's daughter had no idea what was going on either. Mere moments ago, the police were forcing Ruth into handcuffs, and all of a sudden, they were treating her like a celebrity. Well, at 100 years old, I guess Ruth practically was a celebrity. But that wasn't the reason for their smiles. As it turns out, the arrest was all one big gag that Ruth personally organized for her own birthday. Yep, Ruth had herself publicly arrested purely for the experience.